The OnePlus 5. Is this phone worth considering over Apple's new iPhone 10? It seems like it. Let's take a look at the review next on Milton 1T. The OnePlus 5 is an all-aluminum phone, and by the looks of it, it's premium quality. The phone is also fast, having the faster Snapdragon 835 8-core processor from Qualcomm that runs up to 2.4 GHz. That performance, coupled with either 6 or 8 GB of RAM, makes the OnePlus 5 a strong competitor against the likes of Samsung and Apple. As for the display, the phone has a 5.5-inch AMOLED 16:9 1080 display that has 401 pixels per square inch. Although not as good as Samsung's flagship Galaxy or Apple's iPhone, I did find the display to be better quality than the iPhone 8. One additional feature to mention, the OnePlus 5 has introduced a new reading mode that will turn the display to grayscale and make the screen look similar to the Amazon Kindle. Considering Kindle displays are easy on the eyes, this also makes for good reading on the OnePlus 5. As for the body, the OnePlus 5 is slightly smaller than the iPhone 8 or 7 Plus, with the same hidden antenna lines on the sides and the back of the device. So for the camera, you have a 20 megapixel dual lens system. Also, the dual flash is not necessarily true tone like the iPhone, but the same type of technology is there. I should note here, the camera sensor is made by Sony, so you do get decent quality photos from this camera. As for the other features, you will have a fingerprint sensor similar to the iPhone and Samsung Galaxy. You will also have some interesting features unique to the OnePlus 5, such as the side switch that turns the ringer on and off. So for the battery, typically you will get 8 hours of normal use out of the phone, which is slightly less than the iPhone. Some users have claimed the battery does drain more heavily than other Android devices, many stating the phone will drain by 20 to 25% overnight in standby mode. This compared to the Samsung and iPhone that typically drain 5 to 10% overnight with no use. As for the operating system, the OnePlus 5 runs Android 7.1.1 Nougat, with OnePlus 5 making additional modifications on top of the OS. If you are a fan of the Android stock operating systems, you will like the OnePlus 5, as the company did little modification to the software. So the last and most important question, who is the OnePlus 5 for? Let's start with who it's not for. If you are with Sprint or Verizon, you will not be able to purchase the phone, as the OnePlus 5 does not support either of the company's networks. Secondly, if you are a person that frequently gets their phone wet, keep in mind there is no water resistance with this phone. That is a stark difference from the iPhone and Samsung Galaxy that are almost waterproof. Lastly, if you are a person that likes to take pictures with their phone and you want to stay with Android, you may want to look at a Samsung or an LG phone. The picture quality is much stronger than the OnePlus 5. So who is the phone for? As stated, if you are a person that enjoys the stock Android experience, you will like the OnePlus 5. The only additions to the software, such as the reading mode, are welcomed features. The phone does not come with too much bloatware that you don't want. Additionally, if you are a person that likes a speedy phone and doesn't need the special animations you sometimes get with Galaxies or iPhones, you will probably like the OnePlus 5. Personally, I think sometimes the animations of the apps opening and closing can take too long, so this may be a lesson someone like Apple can take note of. Last, if you don't really care about an edge-to-edge display, you simply want a good solid display that you can comfortably look at all day without eye strain, the OnePlus 5 is certainly a top contender in this category. The OnePlus 5 starts at a 64GB model and goes up to 128GB. That's it for now. I'm Milton. Thank you for listening.